Hello, friends. Welcome to a video that isn't a podcast or audio. If you're audio listener, you might be wondering what's going on. Why is this video so much shorter? Some of you might have been excited, but I'm sorry, it's not a podcast. Where's the guest? What is happening with Jonah's head? What is Jonah wearing? What's happening to his face? Like, what's going on here? I have explanations. Maybe not for my face. I can't help that, but explanations in regards to the podcast. Firstly, this week I have not been feeling the best. My headaches have been sort of peaking. Hence the hoodies and stuff, just comfort clothing. You know what I mean? My hair is just like I can't be bothered to fix my hair. Yeah, so I was feeling unwell. That's why there's no podcast this week. Also, the main reason as to why there is no podcast this week is because I want to improve the podcast. So I want to spend this week where I don't have to worry about like editing or whatever it is to rethink the podcast. It'll probably be very similar, but I want it to be glorifying God to the best of its ability. This is just a passion project that started. To be honest, you guys have been so gracious and loving with your encouragement and everything. So that's been fantastic. I'm just trying to, just to better it for God's glory. And I don't want it to become a stale thing where people just listen to people talking for the sake of talking. I don't think it's been like that, but I just want to rethink what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Because the initial thing was to glorify God and serve God with everything that I'm doing, and the podcast is a branch of what I'm doing. So I want the podcast to be glorifying God to the best of its ability, like I said. This week, it seemed like I've been a bit exhausted. Maybe I'm not going to say burnt out, because I'm definitely not burnt out, but just I need just this week. After this week, we're going to start going hard. We're going to come back bigger and better. There are so many guests that I'm so excited for. Like, we haven't even scratched the surface, and even some guests that you've seen before, we're gonna have them on again. Like, there's so much, and this isn't. Jonah's ending the podcast. This isn't like that. This is like an intermission, just 1 week off where I'm just need to just breathe, relax. Nothing's happening. The podcast isn't ending. To be honest, I recorded a podcast this week, and the guest I have to say, the guest is like my favorite person, the person I love the most and I care for the most. So it's definitely not the guest's fault at all, because what they were saying was very good, but just as a host, I did not do my job properly. And I would say it comes to my headaches and my health. I was just a bit out of it, but also I think I wasn't exactly sure what to do with the podcast going forward. So I'm going to spend the next 2-3 days to pray, to talk to God and to see where He wants it to go. Maybe He wants it to stay the same, and I think it's probably going to stay very similar. I think we'll see, because there has been a lot of fruit from what I've seen. I just want to make sure that my head and my heart are in the right place going forward with this podcast, that it's all for God's glory, not for Jonah's glory, not for the guest's glory, not for people just to come and waffle, or just for Jonah to come and waffle. But I just want to just reimagine, rethink about what I'm doing. And I'm extremely excited. Like I said, there are so many guests that are still to come. I thought this could be a week where I explain to you what's going on in my mind, what the direction of the podcast could be, and what it is. I've had a lot of criticism and advice and feedback and all these things, and I appreciate that. Sometimes it may there's a lot of voices, a lot of opinions, a lot of these things that sometimes they contradict each other, they conflict each other. And with me, because I'm a people pleaser, how like that's a double-edged sword. Sometimes it can sort of get into my head and I want to please everyone, but since there's contradicting advice and opinions and all this stuff, it's tough. So I want to rethink. Actually spend the next few days just coming up with a plan on what direction I want to go, or where I would love to see this. Saying that, I don't think there's much else that I would need to talk about. I'm sorry there's no episode this week. I hope you guys understand. The next guest, I'm telling you, so good. We're gonna re-record it this week, and this week I'll probably start recording more because I have no podcasts in the bank. But I have a lot of people that are keen to record the podcast, and if you are keen for the podcast, even if it's your second time, I'm more than happy to have you on again. If you're keen, please let me know. I'll get you on. I think that is good. I'm so excited to see where this goes, to see what happens, to see your involvement and engagement. Yeah, I'm so keen. I just needed this 1 week, this little time for me to just recuperate. I think that's the word. Recuperate my brain, my heart, to be in line with what God wants from me and what God wants from this podcast. And that's what I'll be doing the next few days. So yeah, to end this off, actually I want to shout out something. This is random. She doesn't know that I'm going to do this. I want to shout out Tamara. I'm holding this because Tamara bought this for me. She hasn't been on the podcast yet. I don't know if she will be, but I want to shout out her. She has a book coming out. I know it's probably not going to help her, but she has a book coming out that she created that is being published by Penguins, which is crazy. I'll put it in the description. I'll put like a photo somewhere here. It is an art book or something, but I'm so excited for it. She is amazing. She does TikTok, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. If you don't know who she is, go follow her first and foremost. Secondly, go buy the book, and yeah, you'll see the book in the podcast probably in August. But yeah, thank you all. Salute to you all for watching this, and I'm sorry there's no podcast this week, but I will see you guys later. Peace.